Incredibles, the National Supers Agency, or NSA, they are tasked with registering and employing superheroes. And then after the being a superhero is outlawed, they're tasked with relocating superheroes into civilian life. However, being a superhero is an occupation, and being a super is how you're born. It's a biological state. And in many ways, it's very reminiscent of mutants from X-Men who are Homo superior. So I posit that the Incredibles are just Homo super. After the superhero relocation program, they're integrated into civilian life. But as we see with Jack, Dash, and Violet, new supers are born all the time, but they are born into this marginalized status where they have to hide who they are. So the movies focus on 3 generations of supers. First, we have the pre-1930s war generation, where superheroes like Jack B. Nimble, Dynaguy, and Edna Mode were contracted and employed by the United States government to fight in wars. Then, after the war is presumably done and won, in the 1930s to 1947, we have the super generation with Elastigirl, Frozone, and Mr. Incredible. The super generation is kind of the golden age of superheroes because the NSA is not only just employing them, they're providing them training so that they can develop and grow in their powers. So the public was loving them up until the collateral damage that was probably okay in wartime wasn't okay in their backyards. So we see public opinion shift, and then being a superhero is criminalized, but clearly also being a super is criminalized. And thus we have the silent generation, which is from 1947 to 1962, where new superheroes like Jack, like Violet, like Void from Incredibles 2, new supers are being born, but they don't have any outlet to learn how to control their powers properly. Being Homo super isn't always a privilege, as we see with Gazerbeam, one of the superheroes that were killed by Syndrome, where he talks about having lasers for eyes fucking sucks sometimes. So could you imagine if he did not have the proper training from the NSA, he would be a danger to himself and others, like we see with Jack. So in many ways, having powers can also be kind of considered not a disability, but being differently abled. And so you have an entire generation of supers who not only have to hide their powers, but are not given the resources to learn how to use them safely. You have the United States government utilizing the specialized labor of a minority group and then abandoning them once those minorities are no longer deemed beneficial to the state, allowing them to just become a further danger to themselves and others, and left without the proper accommodations that they need to live the normal life they are demanding of said minority group. Like, they want to have this minority group, the Homo supers, on the hook for any property damage that they cause, but they also don't want to give them any accommodations, any accessibility for them to live fruitful, productive lives, not as superheroes. Think about the plot of Incredibles 2. Elastigirl was picked because she causes the least property damage, but people seeing her do heroic shit would allow for superheroes to become re-legalized. Decriminalization happens at the end of Incredibles 2, putting the minority group back into the control of a government that seeks to exploit their labor for their own ends.